Hi friends, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to play the song Yours by Conan Gray here on the piano. This is a beautiful piano piece and it's not actually too hard to learn, so I encourage you to really give it a shot. I'm going to be teaching you how to play the entire song in this video, so let's get started by looking at what we're going to learn today. Here we go. Alright everyone, so I hope you enjoyed that. As always, if you did get some value out of that and you want to support me today, there's a few things you can do. You can hit that like button down below. You can leave a comment saying you enjoyed it, or maybe you have a song you'd like to suggest for me, and hit that subscribe button definitely so you can see all of my videos. Hit that bell icon next to it so you'll be notified every time I post a new one. Alright, so now let's get into the tutorial part where I'll be teaching you exactly how to play this song. Alright, so let's get started now. This song is going to be in the key of B minor, meaning we have two sharps, which are C sharp and F sharp. So we're going to be breaking down this tutorial into 4 separate sections. Now, while there might seem like a lot to learn to play this whole song, if you just look at these 4 sections individually, each of them is not that bad. So let's get started with the first one, which is going to be the verse and the intro. So let's start by looking at the chords that we're going to play here, alright? So we're going to start here with a B minor chord, and that's going to look like this. We're just going to play B in the left hand and then F sharp, B, and D here in the right hand, okay? All right, next up we're going to go to our G major chord. So G in the left hand and then G, B, D here in the right hand. All right. Now we'll go to our D chords, so D, F sharp, A, and D. And lastly, we'll go to F sharp minor, F sharp, A, and C sharp. All right, so now let's play all those chords again, one more time. B minor, G major, D major, and F sharp minor. All right? So to play the verse, all we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing these notes here in the right hand on quarter notes, okay, 4 times in each measure, and then we're just going to be playing that note in the left hand, all right? So it sounds like this. Alright, and that's really all that the verse is. Now the only other thing that I did there you saw is I'm just repeating that first note in the bass right before I change chords. Okay? And so that's just going to repeat 2 times during the first verse. Now in the second verse we're only going to go through this progression 1 time, and instead of playing it just simply quarter notes here in the right hand, we're actually going to be playing a little bit of an arpeggio, and that arpeggio is going to look like this. Okay, so you see all we're doing is we're starting on the top note and then we're going down to the bottom and then back up, okay, 4 times on each chord. And then in the left hand, I'm just going to play 1 octave down, but the exact same notes as before, okay? So it sounds like this. All right, and that is really the whole verse. All right, so now let's go back to the intro and let's take a quick look at that, and you'll kind of see that it's really the same chords with just a few other little melodies mixed in. So the intro starts like this. Okay, so you see there, we're going to start with this little melody. We're going to start with the B and D on our B minor chord, and we're just going to play this. All right, and you see we're playing these same notes here in the right hand that I taught you before. We're just going to add this F sharp here in the left hand to make it a bit easier, and we're just going to play these quarter notes like before. Then we're going to play that same melody, and then go to our G chord with this D now here in the left hand. Now we're going to go to our D chord here. I'm playing D and F sharp right here in the right hand, and then add this A in the left hand as well. Okay, and lastly we're going to go to our F sharp minor, F sharp, C sharp, A, and C sharp. Okay? So it's just the same chords. Take some time and slow that down if you need to practice those melodies a bit, but it's really just the same thing as the verse. All right, we have to move on now. So next up is going to be the pre-chorus. Now in the pre-chorus, it's really just going to be 2 chords, and those chords are going to look like this. Our first chord is going to be an E minor 7 chord. So E, and then E, G, B, that's an E minor, and then we're going to add this top D, which is the 7th. Okay, so E minor 7, and then we're going to go to an A chord, so A, E, A, and C sharp, all right? And then you're going to see this little melody, which is just going to be walking up here in the right hand. So we're going to start on this B in the E minor chord, and we're just going to walk up B, C sharp, D, and E, okay? Just walking up right there. And then again, we're going to walk up here on the A chord, but we're just going to start on the C sharp. So it's going to go C sharp, then we'll repeat, and then go to D and E, okay? So kind of together it sounds like this. Okay, and that's really all that the pre-chorus is. Now the second time through the pre-chorus, you know how in the verse we played that arpeggio the second time through? We're going to do the exact same thing here in the pre-chorus, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting with our E minor chord here, and we're just going to play the same arpeggio starting on this B, and then we're just going to move the top note up 1 every time like this. Okay? using that same thing we did before. And then again on the A chord, the same arpeggio and then going up. All right, so then that second pre-chorus, that'll sound like this. All right, and that's it. All right, we got to keep moving. There's a lot to get through today. So the next section is going to be the chorus. Now the chorus is going to have 4 chords. That's all you got to know. And then at the end, it's going to change a little bit, but it's really just going to be these 4. All right, so we're going to start here with a G major chord. All right, now we played this one before, so we're going to play G, B, and D. Okay, and in the left hand, we're going to play G octaves. Okay. All right, so that's going to be our chord. Next up, we're going to go to an A major chord, so A's, and then E, A, C sharp. Now to our D chord, which is going to be D, F sharp, A, and D. And lastly, a B minor chord, but we're going to add this A, which is going to be the 7th. So B's in the left hand, F sharp, A, and D. This is B minor 7. All right, one more time through those chords. G, A, D, and B minor 7, all right? And then the pattern we're gonna be playing is gonna be the exact same arpeggio that we learned before, all right? So just like this, remember? On all 4 chords. And then you know the right hand kind of stays the same here between the D and the B minor. Okay, now one thing that you can add if you're comfortable with that, I'd say just start with that, make sure you can play that well, and you can really just play it like that, but what I like to do is I like to add in these repeating bass notes here, just to give it a bit more bass, a bit more kind of sound down beneath, and make it really powerful. And then what I like to do is I like to add this 10th on the top, which is 10 notes up, okay? Really it's the 3rd of the chord, but just an octave up. And you see I play that right before I change chords. So putting it together, it sounds like this. And then after 2 times through, we're just gonna play our first 2 chords again. So which is gonna be G and A, and we're just gonna play them all as one chord together, okay? And then we're gonna end our chorus here on our D chord, and we're just gonna be playing this arpeggio. We're gonna go up and down. Okay, just like that. And that's how we're gonna end our chorus. All right, so the very last section that we have to learn is going to be the ending, the bridge ending kind of thing. All right, so this section is going to have 4 chords. All right, it's kind of a new order here, but let's look at it. So we're going to start here on our E minor 7 chord. Remember, we use the same one in the pre-chorus, so E's in the left hand, and then E, G, B, D. Okay. Next up, we're going to go to A, so A's, and then E, A, C sharp. Then we're going to go to our D chord, so D, F sharp, A, D, and then we're going to go to our B minor 7 chord, so B minor, F sharp, A, and D, all right? And I am going to add one little transition note here, so going from our D chord, I'm going to go down to make it like a D over C sharp chord before we go down to our B minor 7, okay? So those 4 chords now, E minor 7, A, D, then we'll go D over C sharp to B minor 7. And all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to be playing the full chord on the quarter note here in the right hand, okay? And then I play a little bit of a rhythm in the left hand. So together that sounds like this. we're gonna end the song on these last two chords. This one here is just gonna be our E minor chord again, but we're gonna add this top C sharp, which is gonna make it an E minor 6 chord, all right? And then we're just gonna end here on an A chord, A, E, C sharp. All right, and that brings us to the end of today's song. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. All right, that wraps up today's tutorial. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.